So I was reading a source on sportsillustrated.com and, looking in that source there, just reading, Russell Westbrook, gives good praise or praises Kawhi Leonard in regards to, just being a fan of Kawhi Leonard and, being a teammate. And, we have to respect that because, we heard a lot of, rift between Kawhi and Russell Westbrook in regards to the beef about what Undisputed talked about several months ago when Russell Westbrook was a part of the Lakers organization and not the Clippers. So to hear Russell Westbrook, speak on the situation after a post game, I think against the New York Knicks, he speaks about Kawhi Leonard and his experience with Kawhi Leonard after being asked by a reporter. And, Russ says that, Kawhi is great. Kawhi is a great teammate, things like that. He doesn't talk much, but he doesn't have to talk because, I talk for him. I talk enough for everybody, and I got Kawhi's back, on the floor and vice versa. And, hearing those words, especially, the vice versa part, and he got his back and he got his, that's a very good thing to hear because as we always talk about the Clippers, continuity, chemistry is something that they seem to have lacked over the years at times in situations where, they need to be or was looked at as the better team and didn't come out in the better situation. So now that, I'm not saying Russell Westbrook is helped building chemistry with this team, but when you listen to Russell Westbrook share his comments and things like that on SI.com, he also talks about being a voice and telling Kawhi and PG and other players, what he sees from his point of view and things that he might see on the floor that, could help even the younger players like Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, whenever he gets an opportunity to get on the floor and even anybody else on the floor, or anybody else on the roster. And that's a very good thing to hear because things like that, little things like that goes a long way in regards to building continuity with your teammates, your team, and the chemistry can never be broken when you guys get to that final point of your chemistry is at its peak. And, listen to Russell Westbrook say that is very good. And I think that's a very good message in regards to, anybody in the locker room that heard that, of course, which all of them did, I believe. So I think that's a good message to them, himself, and to, any other Clipper fan out there to see, okay, Russell Westbrook might be a wild card for the Clippers. He might be not the right fit, but he is a good teammate and he is trying and he is doing his best to be, what the Clippers need of him. And like Russ said also, whatever is asked of him, that's what he's there to do. If Kawhi needs him to do something, he's going to do that. PG, same thing. Ty Lue, same thing. Like he's there, another teammate, same thing. He's there to help with the Clippers. And that's the mindset that Russell has. And I like that mindset because, a lot of things that you hear the media speak about or spew about Russell Westbrook is he's all about himself and all these type things, or more so Skip Bayless is the one that really says that. And maybe, Shannon Sharp co-signs that, but still, I'm saying he may be individualized for himself and his own stats. I believe the same thing about him, but I always believe that he was a good teammate, and I've never heard teammates talk bad about Russell Westbrook, and actually, one time not too long ago, this is about maybe 4 years ago, I actually spoke to somebody who knows Steven Adams, a teammate of his. And, it was crazy. The person telling me about, Steven Adams' experience, with, working with Russ and a couple other, players on the team who he was kind of close with on OKC. I never heard any bad report about Russell Westbrook. Always been a good teammate. And, when you look at Russ, not only teammates like that or others probably speaking good about him, it's like you never hear nothing bad about Russ in regards to teammates. And anytime you see Russ on a team, it's like if Russ is riding with you, he's riding with you to the end. He's just one of those type of people from what I can see and what I gather out of him by watching him over the years. He just seems like when he's a ride or die type, you know what I'm saying? And those are the type of people that, you know, a lot of people respect in the world. And, you know, it's good to have people like that on your team, because it's like when times get hard, you need somebody to help pull the band together and, you know, keep things afloat as much as possible. And I feel like Russ can give this team that also, because he's a veteran. He's been in the league. He's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, like Kawhi and PG will be, I believe. So, I mean, you know, with that type of mentality bringing into this locker room, it definitely isn't a hinder to the team. It's definitely a help. So I think that's very good. I think that's a good thing to have with your teammates, and have that type of mindset coming into a team that's trying to win a championship. You know, do what's asked of you. Don't be, you know, too forward. Don't be, you know, too boastful about things. Just understand the process, you know, feed into the process, understand it, and then execute it. You know what I'm saying? When you're on the floor. And I think if Russell keeps that mind state, you know, maybe his turnovers might be a lot less than it was with the Lakers. Maybe he might be a more valuable piece to the Clippers than he was to the Lakers. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, to be honest, I never been the biggest Russell Westbrook fan in regards to him winning championships. His individual talent has always been great. You know, no doubt about that. Nobody can deny that. But, you know, honestly, listening to Russ say this and kind of, you know, come off this way, I would like to see Russ actually get a championship himself with the Clippers. I really would. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't think Russ can help them win a championship. I mean, but I would like to see Russ prove me wrong. I really would. You know, help this team be the point guard they need. Don't complain. You know, when your numbers call, just be the teammate you need to be, and go out there and perform at the highest level possible with less mistakes as possible. That's really what's asked of Russell Westbrook. And if he can do that, then, you know, the Clippers got something. But, you know, it's one of those situations where it's like a hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? You're really not sure. You're really uncertain, but you just hope for the best. And that's the only thing you can really think about, or the only way you could look at it in regards to Russell Westbrook. If you're trying to win a championship, you hope he plays well, but you expect the worst at the same time, because you know what his record is and you know what he's known for. But you just hope that he makes a lot less mistakes on your behalf, so it can better your chances of winning as an organization. And that's the way the Clippers are looking at it, I believe. And I think that's the way they should look at it. But also, you know, if they can get the best out of Russell Westbrook, if they can, and this team can stay healthy, I think, you know, definitely, you know, of course, the playoffs is all about health too. It's not just about matchups, it's about health. So, I mean, if the Clippers can stay healthy, and if they can just keep, you know, going the way they are, and just try to, you know, they're going to make mistakes here and there, but learn from them and get better and get more concise and get more tighter as a team, and, you know, tighten up those gaps, they'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? In regards to playing defense, tighten up those gaps. You know what I'm saying? Talk more, communicate on the floor, because as Kawhi Leonard said also, defense is where it starts with this team. You know, they got to play on the defensive end, and Kawhi Leonard also said, we got to stop turning the ball over. And, you know, that's those two things are huge for the Clippers right now, because Russ can give you more opportunities to turn the ball over, which is a bad thing. But at the same time, if you can limit some of his turnovers and turn it up on the defensive end a little bit, the Clippers will be just fine, because offensively, they got all the pieces they need offensively. They got so many weapons from the bench to the starters, and so many wing players. They got defensive players. They got even Russ, who can push the break at times and, you know, be a blur still. You know what I'm saying? They got Ty Lue as a coach, and, you know, Kawhi Leonard is the main superstar along with PG. I mean, you know, they got everything they need offensively, offensive minded, you know, all that type stuff. But they need to really lock down that defensive end and keep the turnovers at a low. And by doing that, you got to kind of limit Russ, and you got to kind of, you know, hope you get the best out of Russ rather than what the Lakers got out of him. And, you know, hope that's the key to your success, along with, you know, Kawhi and PG leading the team, so you can win a championship.